And just before our discussion panel, the co-founder of Sid Lee, Philippe Meunier, who is responsible for the whole agency's creative output. Thanks to his multidisciplinary approach and the creative directors he oversees, Sid Lee has received numerous and prestigious awards and accolades. Famous for his zen-like approach to the craziness of running a large creative group, a consequence of his love for yoga, Philippe firmly believes that great work comes from happy people and lives by this motto 24/7. Please welcome to the stage Montreal's own Philippe Meunier.
Thank you. Hello Montreal. Ça va bien tout le monde? Oui. Aujourd'hui, je vais faire ma présentation en anglais. Je sais que parmi vous, il y a plusieurs francophones, mais je vais le faire quand même en anglais parce que j'aimerais ça partager nos présentations et nos discussions ensemble. Alors, j'ai préparé un petit quelque chose en anglais. So, today I'm going to do my presentation in English for you guys so you could understand. Okay, so today I'm not going to talk about the Sid Lee work. I'm going to talk about the Sid Lee culture because I think after 25 years, the most important thing at Sid Lee is the culture. Culture is something that is very fragile, something is very unique, and it's something that you could not put in a suitcase and send it across the sea and try to build another office. Culture is everything in an agency, and later on around the panel, we're going to talk about the life in an agency, but I really believe that the real life in an agency is all about culture. So today I'm going to show you work from, I'm going to make sure that things work. I'm going to share to you my secret sauce. How do we do creative culture at Sid Lee? And one of the main reasons is Sid Lee Collective. Sid Lee Collective happened 20 years ago when every morning people walk into my office and say, Phil, do you have 5 minutes? I would like to show you some of my pictures. I would like to show you my script. I would like to show you my new album. All those crazy ideas were amazing, but they were not rooted into our client project. And at one point I said, maybe we should do something with that. Maybe we should put money on the table and make those ideas come alive and decide to push them, to make them come real project. So after 20 years, we did crazy things around Sid Lee Collective, but the reason we still push that project is because it's fueling the creative culture inside the agency. So I'm going to give you actually, that's a quick video, an overview of what we've done for the last 2 years at Sid Lee Collective. Voila. So these are crazy projects, but every month we look at all the different projects from all the Sid Lee offices, and we pick some of them, and we put money on the table in time, and we make these things happen. But I'll share my ingredients to make good project like that. And the first one is be creative driven, because any agency are growing and they get bigger and bigger, and they're at one point they get financial driven. And like you guys are like a small shop, you're super creative driven, but at one point you're going to wake up one morning and you're going to be 200 more people. And then suddenly all your decision is going to be based on money because you're big. But you need to really fuel that culture to be creative driven. But that's the soul of an agency, is to be crazy and be creative driven. So that's the first one. And you have to walk the talk, because when you're saying that you're creative driven, it's not easy to deliver. So that's why we decided to push the Sid Lee Collective project and make it come alive inside the agency so people could submit their work. But not only inside the agency, but outside. How are we going to amplify this project outside the agency? So basically, we were all over the news. Every project that we're putting on the table, we really push the PR out of it just for the fun of it, because we are really proud of what we do, and sometimes we like to shake things up a little bit. And I think the third one is do-it-yourself culture, because when you have an idea, if you don't do something with it, it will die. So every people that do and work in an agency, they want to see their project come alive. And sometimes you don't have the money, you don't have the budget, timelines and everything, but when you have a small idea, pick up your phone, go out there and do it. And I'll show you an example of a project that was made in New York. One Friday afternoon, some of the creative team in New York, they decide to go out and get crazy just for the fun of it.
All night, but I be flipping all night. I still flip all night, but I be flipping all night. Flipping all night, but I be flipping all night. I still flip all night, but I be flipping all night. I still flip, 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 flip all night.
Hey guys, Jessica Carroll here with Holly Scoop. The clever people over at Sid Lee have created a tumbler that perfectly combined fine art and the selfie queen herself, Kim K, creating true pop art.
They know I'm out here still cooking in the kitchen, cause I'm flipping all night, but I be flipping all night.
Guess what? The week after, I was really scared because we're going to get sued on this for sure. But we say, you know what? It's okay. It's going to be, we had fun and it's great. That's why every time you have an idea, go out there, grab your phone and just do it. And another thing is sometimes you have to be famous. And recently, I know you guys from Montreal are super fan of Georges St-Pierre. Georges St-Pierre just won his new world title. And we were working on a book at Sid Lee Collective about different stories of bouncers in Montreal. And one of those bouncers was Georges St-Pierre's bouncers. So we decided at the last minute to change everything and create the preface of the book with Georges St-Pierre. And this book's going to be launched tomorrow here in Montreal. We invite all the tough guys of Montreal to be the doorman at one unique party in Montreal. So here's the film. So here's the book. And see, that project was just a small idea of like telling stories of those underground people, but just adding like a famous person on top of it change everything. So sometimes when you have a crazy project, think about what you could throw on top of it and make it more expandable, more to reach the sky. And in that case, Georges Saint-Pierre was the best example. So we just throw that on top of it, and hopefully we're going to sell a lot of books. Next one is break a rule. And breaking a rule, I think every creative piece, you need to break something if you want to make sure that it really goes out there and make a difference. And on that piece, it was about Trump in the States. And we decided, why don't we break a rule on this one? And we came up with this crazy idea of coming up with a card game with and we did that game, and here's the case study.
I know words. I have the best words.
The wall will go up, and Mexico will start behaving.
Quote, Heidi Klum, sadly, she's no longer a 10.
I would like to extend my best wishes to all, even the haters and losers, on this special date, September the 11th.
I watch our police and our firemen down on 7-Eleven.
Jeb Bush has to like the Mexican illegals because of his wife.
They're bringing drugs. They're bringing crime. They're rapists. He referred to my hands. If they're small, something else must be small. I guarantee you there's no problem. I love it. I love it. Look at this way.
Hundreds of thousands and millions and millions and millions and millions and millions and millions and
100%. I don't know what I said. I don't remember.
But guess what? On this one, we got sued. So we had to pull out the cards and everything, but we had fun. But you know, sometimes in agency, when you get bigger and bigger, you have to embrace craziness sometimes. And most of the time, creative people come up with crazy ideas, and it's easy to say no. But when you said yes and you embrace it, then it really builds the creative culture. So, and my last one is create what matters. Because sometimes things happen in the world, and we spend most of our time trying to sell cars, alcohol, video games to kids and people in this world, but we actually want to do something that really matters at the end in this society. And last summer, there was a lot of violence in the world, and a lot of people at the agency said, we have to do something because the world is going to shit. And as creative, we need to raise up and create something. So we decided to create Posters for Peace. Posters for Peace was basically an invitation to all designers in the world to create a poster on Peace Day. So we took those posters, printed on bed sheet, and it was the Yoko Ono bed-in at the Queenie this September. So we installed 50 beds, and we print all those posters on the sheets. And we did a bed-in, basically, and that was the video to invite people to submit their work.
I want to live in a friendly world, a friendly world, a friendly world. I want to live in the kind of world that's kind to folks like me.
If I run short of a cup of milk and my next door neighbor's in,
I want to know that she won't say no
to the color of my skin,
or the place I worship,
or the town from which I came,
or my great-grandfather's. Live in a friendly world, a friendly world, a friendly world. I want to live in the kind of world that's kind to folks like me. I want to live in the kind of world that's kind to folks like me.
So we received over 500 posters from 50 countries around the world. And we were so overwhelmed by all those posters, we had to call our friends at the One Club in New York and ask them their software to manage award show because there were so many posters. But that's the kind of creative voice that we like to do as Sid Lee. Sometimes when you feel something is wrong, well, take your ideas and take your pencil and create something to change the world. And the next one was for Halloween, another little campaign that we did in Toronto. Oops. Yeah. Okay. We'll do the old-fashioned way. That was the Halloween campaign. The next one, my final ingredient, and it's fun. I think living in an agency and working in an agency, it's fun time. It's really great. Sometimes it's hard, it's true, but at the end of the day, you're building an ecosystem of very talented people that are sharing the same thing, is passion about great work. So having fun, I think it's the most important ingredient in a creative culture, and it's something that we're really, really pushing all the time. Every time that we're building a new office, the first thing that we ask ourselves is, are we going to have fun in here? And believe me, after 25 years, we had great parties, and the fun is still remain at Sid Lee, and this was what we love the most. So thank you, merci. Now I think it's the panel, I think, right?
Merci Philippe.
Merci.